you gotta do what you love. It's not always about the money. I'll be like, yep.
Hi everybody, it's Lady Curl in the house, the Sweetie Todd Studios, representing some of the top Lady Barbers of Chicago. We're gonna interview them. Let's get into it.
My name's Megan. I'm from Milwaukee, well, the Milwaukee area, I should say. My name's Megan. I'm from Milwaukee, well, the Milwaukee area, I should say. I'm 21. I've been cutting for like 2.5 years professionally. I started school when I was 17, so it was really quick and it went by so fast. So I went to WCTC, which is Waukesha County Technical College. I did the full-time program right after high school. Like I graduated in June and I started in August. So it was just like I never stopped going to school type of thing. It was definitely a salon vibe. It was a cosmetology class. So, you know, females. We were friends, but of course there's gonna be drama with friends no matter what. It was fun, you know, we got to learn a lot of stuff and I loved it, you know. So we had a barber come in from Milwaukee and he taught us how to cut an afro, right? And I fell in love. Like I was just like, this is crazy. It felt so like organic and natural. And then I was like, this is what I want to do. And we had a class where we had to go do externships and I found the shop that I'm at now. And like literally I was supposed to be there for like an hour and I stayed for like 6 hours. And it was just like so organically like, this is home, this is family. Like I loved it. And it was just, from there it was true love. I'm so proud. I tell everybody, like I'll be like, yep, I'm a barber. I love it. It's so fun. It doesn't even feel like work. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be at the shop today. You mean you have work? No, I'm gonna be at the shop. Like I do what I love and it feels like you're just hanging out, you know? That's hard. Well, it's not hard, but it's hard. My boss, well, the owner of the shop that I'm at, his name's Tim, he took me under his wing so fast and was so loving. Like it's like a family relationship, you know? So he taught me a lot and all the guys in the shop took me under, you know what I mean? Like they were so great. I got Tim, Chris, Sammy, and everyone who was there, you know? So, and YouTube.
YouTube, yeah. You learn a lot. You can find everything on YouTube.
It was hard. I didn't really have like a specific person because I was in the cosmetology area. So I didn't know like famous barbers or anything like that. I was just like, oh wow, like seeing stuff on Instagram. Like, okay, so being a woman it's hard getting a man in a chair. But I was so intrigued on doing textured hair and every type of hair, and because I'm a woman and I look the way I do, people were like, you're not touching my head, like no, you know. So it was really hard, the struggle of practicing when you can't get people to trust you to get their chair. Like you had to have a certain type of person that will let you do it, you know. So it was hard to, you know, gain trust, but after you gain trust and word of mouth, like it just, I've had so many heads to practice on, you know. So it was a struggle, like not being able to get people in your chair just because 1000%. Like I've had dads pull their kids out of my chair. Like I had cut a line in their hair and I was fitting them in because their barber wasn't there. And my boss was like, "Oh, just cut them. Like you've been here for a year and a half. Like we know who you are, you know." And he grabbed the kids out of the chair and said like a remark like, "I'm not letting a woman cut my son's hair," and like had a whole attitude, like literally yanked the child. I was like, I already cut on his head. Like I've had moms like, do you want to do my kid's hair? And like give me like the looks and the snarky comments. And I'm like, you know, that kind of drove me to do it though. Like I want to prove you wrong. Like that was definitely it. Like, okay, I'll come for you. I got you.
You're gonna see
yeah. I wanted to be an obstetrician because I love kids. Like I love babies. Like I thought it was so interesting. And then I was like, I really like skin. I really like makeup. So it kind of like worked its way. I was like, I like hair. Like it was so weird, but it kind of happened so like naturally that it was just like, okay, I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna go with the universe.
It did. It really did happen like that.
No, like not being in my own head, because like going out of school, people are like, well, why would you want to be a barber? Like, you're not gonna make that much money. Like, I was like, you gotta do what you love. It's not always about the money. You can make money doing what you love. Like, you just, you know. And it was like, coming from a cosmetology perspective, they were like, be careful when you go into the shop. Like, don't wear this. Like, don't talk like this. Like, do this. Like, and I was like, okay. And then I went in and it was completely different. You know what I mean? So that, yeah, it's hard, but I think it's motivating in a way. Like, if you have that personality, like, you're gonna do something and you're gonna prove people wrong, like, that's the motivation right there. I think, you know, everything's gonna have a stigma on it no matter what. So, I mean, obviously it's a sad stigma, because like, just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I can't do it. You know what I mean? But, you know, life's life. I shouldn't say it like that, but like, I wish it wasn't the way it is, but it is. So I feel like with us coming out and doing this, like, we're gonna change that, you know? I feel like the world's the limit, like, or that, how do you say it? Like, you're never gonna stop learning. Things always change, and everyone's gonna need a haircut, no matter what. So it's like, you're gonna have to do so many different things and go out of your comfort zone. So there's always something to learn.
Yeah, there's birthdays, there's holidays,
and then there's always gonna be someone better than you. So you have to look up to that to get better. You know what I mean? You can never just stay in one place. You always want to progress. Oh, my boss will tell you, I was bad at first. Like, really? I would be like, well, that's not what they taught us in school. That was my favorite line. My favorite line. That's not what they taught us in school.
No.
It was. But then I finally got out of my own head. Like, I pushed my feelings, my womanly emotions, like, away. And I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I need to have thick skin. I need to take it as what it is, you know? So, I mean, it took me a little bit, but I got some tough skin, so, you know. Yeah, well, yeah, most definitely. It was more or less like I felt not motivated to get better. Like, it was more or less I just wanted to stay where I was at and just make money. And then I was like, I can do so much better, and I can do so many more wonderful things rather than just sit in a shop and make money, you know. I was definitely, I didn't want to take criticism, so I wasn't learning. Now, like, I'm gonna give me all the education I can get. I used to just be stuck in my ways. I used to not want to look at other people. I wanted to do it myself, you know. But now it's just like, go for it. You're never gonna know what could have been if you don't try. The what ifs in your head. Everyone has anxiety, so everyone's gonna have those what ifs. Well, what if? What if this happens? What if this happens? Well, what if it does? Like, you can't change that. You need to go for what makes you happy. And the harder you work, the more, and anything's possible. Like, you can do anything. Don't let anyone doubt you. The only person that matters is yourself. You gotta make yourself happy. You gotta make yourself feel good, you know? Education is key. Your confidence is key. If you're not confident in yourself, like, if you're not confident that you can learn, you know what I mean? Like, you're not always going to be, like, amazing at your job. Like, you got to learn, right? So be confident in yourself, be confident in what you want to do. Always take an education, and just, creativity is limitless, and definitely don't fall into, like, fads and this. Like, be yourself. Like, show yourself through your creativity on your haircuts. You know, makes yourself unique. Vic Lens. Oh, I love it. And not only because of his haircuts, but because of what he does. Like, he just opened up school for barbering in prison systems. I know people who were barbers who ended up being in a bad situation, and they're, you know, and now they can further their education, or just giving people haircuts on the side of the street. Like, he does so much more than just, oh, I cut hair. Like, he's an inspiration mentally, everything, you know. So that's why he's one of my favorite, just because he can take an average haircut and, like, throw it and make it amazing, you know, like.
Yeah, for him, I don't even think it's about the haircut.
Exactly.
It's totally about the person.
It's about the person, and you can just see his, like, personality show, you know. Stop comparing myself to others. I look at other people and I'm like, I can't do that. I'll never be able to do that, and then my self-confidence kind of goes down. And then I'm like, no, get back into it. Like, I gotta do it. But I always do that. Like, I compare myself to others, whether it comes to anything in life too. Like, I'll look at the way someone else dresses and I'm like, oh, like, okay. Or just stuff like that. Like, that's one thing. Yeah. I feel like one thing that people don't talk about also is that, like, I don't know if it's just me, but like people are like, oh, well, you're a woman in a male dominant industry. Do you get like sexualized and stuff like that? Like, like people bring that up to me a lot, and I'm like, you know, if you put boundaries in where you are, you're gonna be fine. You know what I mean? Like, don't be afraid to put yourself in a situation, like in an industry where you're like, oh, I'm gonna get, you know, feel uncomfortable or whatever. It's like, if you have to find the right spot to where you do feel comfortable. Not every place, not every barbershop is the same. Not every person you come across is gonna be the same. Not all clients are the same. You just have to really make it yourself. I don't know how to say it. Like, stand your ground. You know what I mean? Like, people are like, oh, well, like you said, you get sexualized, and it's like, if you put it like, I'm here to cut your hair, I'm not here to flirt with you, I'm not here to get your number, like, people know you mean business. So you really just gotta stand your ground. No. I mean, I've had situations where I felt uncomfortable because of a client, but the good thing about being in the shop that any barbershop is that you're like family, so people jump in to make sure you know you're safe. Like, I was in a situation where someone grabbed my hips and my boss instantly, like, you gotta go. Like, that's not okay. Or having someone message me and try and blackmail me on something, like something I did when I was a teenager, and like, oh, now all your clients are gonna know this or whatever. And everyone in my shop stood by my side and made sure that I was okay. You know what I mean? So I've been in situations where I felt uncomfortable, but then it was like turned right around because I knew I had a support system with me, you know.